What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We've got, I said 90 minutes on Twitter. It's probably more like 85 minutes of starter sit advice for you right here. YouTube.com/fantasyfootball today. That is your destination for Sunday morning lineup advice. Adam Azer, Frank Stanfield, Chris Towers. I have the Sunday morning blues. I've got a lot of tough decisions to make. 4 o'clock games with a little uncertainty, and it's frustrating. So I'm hoping you guys can help me out, but we'll do it, organically throughout the show. I'm not going to ask any questions about my lineups. How you guys doing? Good weekends?
Yeah. Trying to catch up on House of the Dragon. No spoilers. I know the chat a couple of weeks ago, people getting freaked out that we're saying anything, but I'm not there yet. But I'm trying to catch up, guys.
Yeah. I'm 1 episode behind.
It's tough this time of year, Adam. It
is. Chris, how you doing? You good?
I'm just a wreck of anxiety, and it's not because of fantasy football this week. So that's good, at least.
Oh, it's apartment stuff.
It's apartment stuff, man. This New York City apartment hunt is stressing me out.
Yeah,
I did put an application in on a place, so
totally sucks.
Fingers crossed.
Good luck, man. Good luck to you. All right, let's get to your questions. Actually, before we get to the questions, let's check the headlines. So what's giving me anxiety, and probably a lot of people, was what to do with the Chargers. We don't know if Justin Herbert's going to play. I'm not feeling great about that. We don't know if Keenan Allen's going to play. I'm not feeling great about that. Chris, how are you approaching this situation here if you have to make some 1 o'clock versus 4 o'clock Eastern time, which is obviously the best time zone? If you have to make some 1 versus 4 o'clock decisions here regarding the Chargers.
It's a tough spot because I moved Justin Herbert down to QB9 in my rankings, which is really low for him. He's been a top 5 QB basically since the start of the rankings process, and I think that's true for everybody. But it's not quite like I can just say, start everyone ranked above him, and start everyone ranked below him, or start him over everyone ranked below him, because if you've got Tua Tagovailoa and Justin Herbert, and Tua starts at 1 and Justin Herbert plays at 4, you've got to play Tua Tagovailoa over him, right? You can't run the risk that he's not active.
Yep.
But I'm not ranking. It's weird, right? So should I rank Justin Herbert specifically just behind all the 1 o'clock guys in his range? I don't know how to handle that.
I don't think so. Let people, people have to have some sort of, an ability to, understand the rankings don't necessarily account for this. You've got to, you can get Marcus Mariota on your team, but don't drop Tua for him. But if you can drop someone useless, you can get Mariota on your team. That's pretty much it. I mean, what are you going to go to Daniel Jones or Jimmy Garoppolo or Cooper Rush? You might just have to go.
Trevor Lawrence probably isn't available in your league. Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, but then the Keenan Allen,
maybe Garoppolo.
I'm deciding right now that I am pretty much sitting Keenan Allen unless I can pivot to a good option at 4 o'clock like an Allen Robinson or a DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett. I think would even be good enough to me, or even an Allen Lazard. But I don't have those options, unfortunately. So I'm more or less sitting Keenan Allen because he's uncertain and Herbert's uncertain. So I don't know. Frank, what about Mike Williams? What do you tell the Mike Williams manager right now? I guess, how much would you like him in a worst case scenario, which to me would be Chase Daniel starting and Keenan Allen playing? That would be the worst case scenario for Mike Williams. How much would you like him in that scenario?
Wouldn't like him very much. I don't think he's a must-start option in that scenario. I think he's probably more of a wide receiver 3. That's how I have them ranked right now. Low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3. Keenan Allen even lower than that. Obviously, what he's battling right now, the fact that Justin Herbert is banged up as well. So if you have better options in these 1 o'clock games, a top 30-ish wide receiver, I'm probably looking at one of those options instead, Adam.
How about this question here from Owen? Mike Williams or Allen Robinson?
I'd still go with Mike Williams. I get the concerns, but I don't know. It mostly just comes down to I think Mike Williams is better than Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson, they made a point of getting him the red zone targets last week, and he had, I think, 3, technically only 2. One of them was waved off, but he did score a touchdown that was waved off on a late whistle. But I don't think he's going to do much in that offense. I think he's going to be like Adam Thielen. And so you're hoping he gets touchdowns. And I never feel great about those guys. So I would start Mike Williams over him.
It's really tough, Chris, because I don't think it's a question of the player, right? It's just a situation that they're both dealing with right now. So I think I would go with Robinson, but I get why you're asking.
All right, yeah, this person's very lucky and picked up Matthew Stafford, so that's a great option there. All right, most people don't have that ability. Let me go through a few more news items. I see all the questions coming in, and I will get to them. I want to thank you for being here on this Sunday morning. We're just getting started. Dave Richards probably going to hop on a little bit as well. Please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit subscribe. But yeah, hit that like button, get it going here. Here are the players, some of the players who are questionable who are active today. Alvin Kamara is active, J.K. Dobbins is active, and Kenyan Drake is inactive. So shows a little bit of faith in J.K. Dobbins, I think. Gabe Davis and Dawson Knox are both active. So someone said in the chat that Dawson Knox is out. That is not true. Dawson Knox is in. Hayden Hurst is playing, and Josh Jacobs is playing. So when you look at Chris real quick, this might be obvious. I don't think so. Maybe the first one will be. But how would you rank these three running backs who are playing today? Mm-hmm. Alvin Kamara, J.K. Dobbins, and Josh Jacobs.
I go Kamara, Jacobs, Dobbins. Dobbins is not like a must sit for me, but he's certainly not a must start. He's like RB30. I think you're basically hoping for a touchdown, and his chances of scoring a touchdown are probably pretty good. But I would be shocked if he had 15 carries. I mean, did he have 15 carries in any of his games pre-injury back in 2020? I'm not sure if he did. Obviously, that was with Gus Edwards healthy, but this is a team that historically has not given their number one running back a ton of carries. And it's his first game back from an incredibly serious injury. It wasn't just a torn ACL. It was PCL and LCL and hamstring damage and cartilage damage. It was a mess.
Yeah. He did have he had 4 games with 15. JK, he only had 2. Sorry, I had to do a JK. He had 2 games with exactly 15 carries as a rookie in 2020. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like since Lamar Jackson became the starting quarterback, there are only like 6 or 7 games total by Ravens running backs with 15-plus carries. It's really rare.
All right, here we go. I need a flex in PPR. Edmonds, James Robinson, or Sterling Shepard?
Robinson.
I'm going with Robinson there.
Dylan or Hollywood Brown, half PPR?
I would go with Brown.
I think that's who I have. Let me just confirm because I don't want to give out bad information.
I would also go with Brown.
Definitely not bad information.
I would like to say no to Brown at some point today because I think I would say goodbye to Hollywood. I've never done that or thought about that before, but we could do that. But
you can sing it right now because I'm starting AJ Dillon over.
Oh, you can sing it then. I'm not going to do it. I'd go with Hollywood Brown. Damian Pierce or Miles Sanders, RB2?
Miles Sanders.
Yes, correct.
Okay, how about pick 3 from Shannon? I don't know what broing is. I wouldn't bro anyone. I'm not a bro. Higgins, Garrett Wilson. I hope I didn't say something wildly inappropriate. I have absolutely no idea what it means. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Bateman. There's a lot of people here. Pick 3.
Higgins is the obvious one for me.
I think Sutton too.
And Davis, but not so obvious.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have, it would be Wilson and Sutton for me.
Okay, so Higgins and Sutton, we agree. And then Wilson for Chris, Davis, Gabe Davis for me.
I would go Gabe Davis as well.
Okay. Good wide receivers there. From Dylan, start 3, half PPR, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Michael Thomas, Drake London, Garrett Wilson. First 3?
Sutton, Michael Thomas. Man, DJ Moore. As much as I love DJ Moore, I drafted a bunch of them. Thank you, Heath. I would take Drake London over DJ Moore, but it's very close. I think they're both low-end wide receiver 2s.
Nah, you're starting DJ Moore. He's the top-ranked player on this list, I think.
Oh, wow.
Him and Thomas are the 2 must-starts, and I'm going with Garrett Wilson over Cortland Sutton.
Okay. Oh, wow. But wait, I think Garrett Wilson and Sutton were part of the previous question, and you went with Sutton.
Did I?
I'm pretty sure in the bro question.
That doesn't sound right.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I mean, I probably am.
I mean, look, so this is the problem, right? Like, it's nice to have a bunch of good players, but it is like really frustrating when they're all in the same range of the rankings because you're just going to it's really hard to get those questions right. You know,
Yeah, go ahead.
Like I've got one league where I've got Stephon Diggs. Well, okay, you're starting him. T. Higgins, Deebo Samuel, Gabe Davis, Curtis Samuel, Mike Williams. Like that's really tough to figure out those last three, which of the two I'm starting.
Yeah, no, that happened to me this morning where I told someone to start someone, and then I realized the other day I probably said the opposite, which means they're basically the same exact thing to me, and you just catch me. I don't have a lot of conviction in it, which I have no problem admitting. I mean, that happens a lot. It's a tough toss-up here. Aaron W. wants to know that he wants us to know that he needs massive upside to win, and so Mariota, Flacco, or Fields.
I think Fields has the most upside if they ever treat that offense like it's 2022, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, they're the only team so far that hasn't thrown more than 20 passes in a game, and they've done it in both of their games. So it's
I don't really play the upside game. I don't like thinking of it that way. You never know how your matchup's going to turn out. I would just play the guy I like the best, but it would be Fields for me. Frank?
I would take Mariota.
Gage or Aguilar?
I will go with Gage.
Yeah.
I could see Aguilar having a big game, but I don't know. I think that Patriots offense is just a mess. And I don't think the absence of Jakobi Meyers is a big deal for Aguilar.
Let's go Aguilar.
Did you know that Don Mattingly is done after this year?
I just saw that, yeah.
Oh.
How do you feel about that, Chris, as our resident Marlins fan?
It's not his fault they're bad. Like I know a lot of Marlins fans don't like him, but like that team's just not good.
Yeah.
Like there's only so many knobs you can twiddle to make a 72 win team win 74 games or whatever. That might be giving them too much credit.
It's a shame. I was hoping it would work out for him. Zeke, Dillon, or Patterson?
That is close. I think I have Zeke ranked the highest. Yes, by 4 spots.
I believe I have Dillon ranked highest. Yep.
I like Dillon this week. It sounds like you do too. Okay.
This sucks. I've got Patterson 19, Dillon 20, Elliott 21.
Oh, yeah.
So Patterson.
Okay.
But I do like Dillon this week. I think
the
usage has been very encouraging so far.
Non-PPR, Garrett Wilson or A.J. Dillon?
I think
non-PPR.
that's Dillon.
That's close, but I'll lean with a running back in non-PPR.
From Osprey Luke, full PPR, start 1, Jeff Wilson, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, or A.J. Dillon. He's also starting Aaron Jones.
I believe it's pronounced osprey.
Osprey, okay.
It's a type of bird.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with Dillon here. Yes.
I have Jeff Wilson.
Okay. George Kittle, by the way, cleared to play tonight. You should start.
He's not
him.
on the injury report either, so
no
expectation that he'll be limited. Jimmy Garoppolo replacing Trey Lance. I think things are I'm more optimistic about George Kittle right now than I was preseason.
Brandon, yeah, of course, yeah. Pick a wide receiver in a flex. We got Cook, Samuel, Burks, and Pollard.
Which Samuel?
Curtis.
The first two, Cooks and Samuel.
Yep.
Hashtag Adam has great hair. Thank you. Tua or Burrow. You don't have to say that when Frank isn't on the show. When Frank is on the show, that's when we need to remind people that I have better hair than Frank.
You definitely don't have better hair than Frank, though.
Obviously, why am I saying Frank? I meant Dan. When Dan is on the show, sorry, Frank.
Yeah, you guys have your little thing.
No, I don't have better hair than Frank. Frank has great hair. Dan has crap hair. I have much better hair than Dan Schneier.
I wouldn't say bad.
He has crap hair.
I don't think my hair is that great, guys.
You got good lettuce.
Let it go. Dave has great hair. What's up, Dave?
What's left of it is great. I'll be going the way of Prisco by the time I'm 50. What's up, guys?
Dave, what's going on, man?
Bro. Bro.
Given the lighting, Dave, it just looks like you have a sick handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
That's right. Me and Lemmy. RIP. I've got Tua ahead of Burrow. I love the upside for him. I'm sure you've gotten a lot of questions about him. I'm expecting the Bills defense to be very conservative with their play calling, and I think they're going to have a bunch of breakdowns because they don't have both of their starting safeties and technically both of their starting outside corners from the beginning of the season. And so all Tua has to do is just get rid of the ball quickly. They can get him on the move to buy him a little bit of extra time. I think he's got huge upside. We saw that last week.
What an insult. Dave comes on for 30 seconds, Elliot, and Dave wins. We've been here for 15 minutes.
Maybe it's just a big Motorhead fan, you know?
I'm sure some people get that joke, and it's very good. I do not.
What do you like the way this looks? Like, pretend that there is no air here, or that's what it looks like with the lighting.
It kind of looks that way, yeah.
I love it.
No, I don't like it.
Frank loves it. Adam doesn't like it. Chris?
I think it works.
Heath, how do you think I would look with a handlebar mustache?
Fantastic.
Heath says fantastic. So
lying.
you're outvoted as usual, Adam.
Dave, why don't you tell us how you're approaching the Chargers today?
I think Austin, first of all, I don't want to use Justin Herbert. I'm worried about how effective he will be if he even is playing. That means that you've got to downgrade all the receivers there. I think they use Eckler a bunch. They probably end up using Kelly and Michelle a bunch too, and they try and run the ball in Jacksonville. I loved what I saw from Jacksonville's defense last week. I thought their pass rush was amazing, and I really loved what I saw from Trevor Lawrence last week. I think this could be a bad game for most Chargers players, but Eckler, you're obviously starting. Williams is a low-end number 2 fantasy receiver, like him better in PPR than non-PPR. Everett could be a short area target, so I like him as far as tight ends go. But that's really it. That I moved Herbert to 16th in my rankings. Give me Tua, give me Wentz, give me Rodgers, all ahead of Justin Herbert. And I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth.
But do you also feel that way about Keenan Allen?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know if he's playing, so that
right.
makes it even worse. But if you've got a 4:00 decision and Keenan Allen's part of it, if he plays and it's Chase Daniel, then I guess it'll be. I think it'll be okay either way. But I probably would like. Would I like Williams more? I'd probably take Allen over Williams in PPR and Williams over Allen in non. But I feel like they're both low end number 2 receivers either way.
All right, guys, let's get back to the questions. This is from Pat. London, Higgins, or Judy, full PPR. Frank, what do you got?
I am going with T. Higgins. I think that game could very sneakily turn into a shootout, Jets and Bengals. So take a T. Higgins.
Okay. Dawson or Bateman? And Breece Hall or Dobbins or Herbert?
Bateman for sure. Bateman, I'm a little worried that we're like out over our skis on Bateman, as you know, it seems like he's being treated as like a must-start wide receiver, and he's still not playing more than I think he's at like 70% route participation for the Ravens in a low volume passing offense. So like, I still think there's room for him to disappoint. He's been very big play dependent, but I definitely over Dawson. And then I'm going with, I believe I have Dobbins ranked ahead of Breece Hall. I do.
Yeah, I agree with Chris completely.
Bateman and Dobbins? All right. Baskin and Robbins. It's a good. Somebody had that team name, Bateman and Dobbins. Oh, no, Baskin and Robbins. How about Batman and Robin? That's what it is. Bateman and Dobbins. It's a good team name. Marquise Brown, Mike Williams, or Clyde at PPR Flex?
Marquise.
Correct.
I still have Mike Williams ranked ahead of Marquise Brown.
All right. PPR, Antonio Gibson, Marquise Brown, or Dameon Pierce?
Antonio Gibson.
Also correct.
I think I have Gibson ranked the highest of the 3.
I'm going to throw Marquise Brown out there. All right, let's talk about Gibson, though. I'd go Brown, but obviously all 3 of you said Gibson here. A little nervous about Antonio Gibson. Definitely the toughest matchup, I think. I think the toughest matchup he's going to have this year. He's not great in tough matchups typically. Don't know who's going to catch the passes today. Is it going to be Gibson? Is it going to be McKissick? I just don't love Gibson this week, Dave.
I don't mind him in PPR because of those catches, and I think he's going to get a lot of them. Washington's revealed what their offense is right now. They don't want to run the football a ton. I don't know if they can. I don't think they can be an effective run game. And they do a really good job of dispersing the ball as far as short area targets go. And they used Curtis Samuel as an example further downfield in week 2 than they did in week 1. So there's a lot out there that the Eagles have to be prepared for. I'm sure that Washington knows that Philadelphia's got some great corners and safeties, and they know that the big play is going to be tough to get. That means there's going to be a lot of dinking and dunking that plays right into Antonio Gibson and what he's capable of doing.
All right, next question. Should I start Jared Goff or risk Herbert? I also have Jimmy G as a backup plan. I'd have to drop Goff for Garoppolo.
I would just go with Goff.
I think that's fine. I'm not excited about it. I think I'd rather just wait on Garoppolo. I don't think Goff is so good that you're going to miss him.
Okay. Any disagreement here? Anybody go Herbert?
Nah, I would go with Goff.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I would go.
You said you'd wait. Okay, yeah. All right. Sorry about that. I was reading this hashtag here. Adam's second roach. Yep. Another one last night. It's
Two?
no more than that. I mean, it's probably 5 by now. It's
You're
it's a problem.
filthy.
It's a problem. Yeah.
You are a filthy person.
It's exterminator level problem now. Yeah. DJ Moore, Hollywood Brown, Garrett Wilson.
It's more.
It's
I
DJ Moore.
like all three, but it's more.
Yeah, they're all top 24 wide receivers for me, but Moore is the top one.
Do you feel like you're rushing it with Garrett Wilson a little bit? Like, this is the conversation I had with myself this week. I was so impressed with what I saw last week.
How'd that go, Dave?
It was long and it was pretty deep. And we ended up talking about, like, self-esteem and finances. We took a walk. But no, I loved Wilson. I always loved Wilson's route running and separation skills at Ohio State. And that really came to life. And when I dug into it last week, he barely played the first 3 quarters of week 1. Fourth quarter, he played a lot week 1, got a ton of targets from Flacco then. That carried over into week 2. He's had a 28.8% target share since the start of the fourth quarter of week 1 from Joe Flacco. I like that number. I think he's going to continue to see targets.
Wow.
But I know that DJ Moore's upside is huge, and I like his matchup too. So I think I'm going with Moore, but I don't think I think it's pretty close.
And it's also worth noting, like, Wilson got a ton of red zone work last week. I think he had the 2 touchdowns plus 3 other targets, which is super valuable, and I don't want to downplay it. But, we also do know that Elijah Moore is a really good player. We haven't necessarily seen him break out yet, but I do think that's coming. Like, I'm not giving up on Elijah Moore. I still think he's worth starting this week. And so, there's one, the competition from what I think could be an equally good player. And 2, Joe Flacco is still his quarterback. Now, Baker Mayfield is still DJ Moore's quarterback, so I'm not, that's not necessarily a knock on him, relatively speaking, but it's just, it wouldn't surprise me if Garrett Wilson had a quiet game. That's entirely within the realm of possibility. I'm not ready to anoint him as a weekly must-start guy yet.
I agree with that. I think he's more like a high-end wide receiver 3. Leads the league in red zone targets, by the way. 8 red zone targets for Garrett Wilson. I have a sneaky feeling about Elijah Moore as well, Chris. I think he's like a sneaky GPP DFS play for today as well.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that Christian McCaffrey was going to be standing exactly even with Baker Mayfield on every snap? I don't know if everybody saw that breakdown of how they were tipping their plays with where McCaffrey was standing. It was kind of something there.
That just
Push
starting
back.
to think Matt Rule might be a bad coach.
Pushed back by Matt Rule. I don't know. Maybe who's telling the truth there. All right, full PBR pick 2: Jeff Wilson, Dameon Pierce, Zeke, or Lockett.
Wilson and Zeke for me.
Correct.
I like Pearson, Zeke. I think Wilson's going to be last for me on that list.
Russ or Wentz?
I'm going Wentz.
Russ.
But I think it's close.
It feels so gross to say that, doesn't it?
I know. That's exactly how I
feel. He hasn't been good this year. I think on the whole,
Wentz?
like his numbers are okay, but like actually watching him, I think he's looked like the same guy who collapses under pressure, makes bad decisions. He's got good weapons. He's hit some big plays, but like he's been kind of a garbage time superstar this year. He's averaging 5.9 yards per attempt in the first half of games. He's been pretty bad until late.
Right. So, and how's Russ look to you?
It's bad.
Not great. That's also fair.
Yeah,
that offense looks like kind of but I will also say, like, the Broncos have yet to score a touchdown in the red zone on 6 trips. They are like, I think 8th in yards per play.
They are.
Russell Wilson is top 10 in yards per attempt, I believe. He's completing below 60% of his passes, but they have the second most plays of more than 20 yards so far. So like, it's a weirdly disjointed offense, but I think you can still clearly see the pathway to being a very, very good one. Like, I think they're doing a lot of things right, and I think they're going to figure it out.
I'm saying Russ. Who else? Who's on Team Russ?
I do have Wentz ranked one spot higher, but it feels stupid.
Oh, screw you, Frank.
I have Wentz one spot higher as well, Chris.
All right. We did this. James Robinson or Gabe Davis, non-PPR?
Davis.
Yeah, I will go with Davis.
I think I have Robinson ranked highest.
I get why you might like Robinson because I think he could have another sneaky good game, but he's going to need a lot of volume to do it. I think last week proved that, and Davis just needs like one big catch.
Did Mike Amdell get rid of my roaches? He looks kind of like an exterminator there. It looks like
Mike, you're hired.
Back and the thing and the mask. All right, need a wide receiver and a flex. Keenan Allen, Garrett Wilson, Cam Akers, Jamal Williams, Breece Hall, and George Shepard and Olave are available. That's interesting.
So Wilson's your receiver.
Right.
Am I dropping Jamal Williams to pick up Shepard as like a rest of season type play? If it's PPR, I'd consider that. I don't know if I want to definitely do it, but let's say I'm sticking with all these guys, I'm probably looking at Keenan Allen if he plays, and if he doesn't play, I guess Akers is your emergency replacement.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds right. I was thinking Garrett Wilson and Keenan Allen.
Ooh, a DST question. It's 2 point per sack, 3 for interception.
And half PPR.
Oh, do you get a catch for the interception? Eagles, Rams.
That's why you get the interception.
I think I'm going Eagles here.
I am too. No.
Rams. Let's go Rams.
Yeah, I think it's the Rams.
I'm up.
Oh,
Man, yeah.
Okay.
I could see the Bucks being really good too.
Adam.
Yeah.
I got to run. Heath says it's Traylon Burks Day. I don't know what that means, but Heath's probably right.
Okay.
We're going to go on CBS Sports HQ right now. We're doing a wide receiver rankings run through. Open another browser, put on CBS Sports HQ, and then when you want to get your questions answered, go right back to this chat.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
And tell Heath that I like the Oreo cookie part better than the cream, and see if he wants to add that to the thread.
He wants the Oreo cookie. He likes the Oreo cookie part better than the cream part. Do you want to add that to your thread? That's what he asked you.
Oh, okay.
He seems to
He responded with, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I think that's going to the Adam's bad take thread. All right, thanks, Dave. Let's get Dave out of here. Bye, Dave. There he goes. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. It is noon o'clock. It is it's 11:59. Is it still morning? Idiots. No, of course it's afternoon. It's been afternoon for at least a half hour. All right, we are talking fantasy football here. We're answering your questions.
Wait, what?
Everybody, 11:30 is the afternoon, Chris. You don't know this take of mine?
What?
It is.
That's so stupid.
Lunchtime. What do you mean, breakfast or lunch at 11:30?
I mean, you're asking the wrong guy because I'm usually just crawling out of bed at 11:30.
Same.
So, you know.
It's afternoon, but that's fine.
I feel a little uncomfortable. I feel like I'm being put on the spot answering that question now.
No, it's an old take. It's a take from over the summer.
It's a really bad take, man.
Yeah, it's my take. Of course it is.
I know. I'm aware of your takes.
Anyway, please hit the like button. We only have 193 likes. We have 1,700 people in the chat, so please hit that like button. We'd appreciate it. Let's update you on some of the news in case you're just joining us. We've been talking a lot about the Chargers. I think we just talked about it not too long ago, so I will just skip that. Let's see the other stuff. J.K. Dobbins, Frank Stanfield. What do you think about Dobbins today?
I think that you probably need him to score a touchdown. I do like that Kenyan Drake is inactive for J.K. Dobbins' chances today. I have him more as like a mid flex, like RB 30 in that range. So he's not a must-start player. But, if you do need a flex, I think he can give you something like 60 yards and you just hope that he scores.
Chris, Josh Jacobs is going to play against the Titans.
He's a boring low-end RB2. You're going to get like 12 to 14 points out of him, and that's all.
What do we do if we have James Conner? That one didn't talk about this morning, unfortunately, on FFT and 5. That was my bad. Haven't spoken about him yet. Haven't had a single James Conner question. He's a game-time decision, and he's an afternoon. They're all in the afternoon, but he's a late window guy, 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Frank, what do we do about James Conner here if you have to make a decision early?
Yeah, I'm starting him. I know there was a report overnight that it looks like he is going to play. He's not ranked the way that he would be if he was healthy, which would normally be like a high-end RB2, maybe low-end RB1, but more so in that RB20 to 24 range for him. I think that he could be okay, probably not as effective as he normally is, but I do think that he is a start, and I think he's going to play.
Last I saw, Chris, on Jerry Jeudy is that he's on track to play. But he wants to test out his shoulder and ribs, I guess. Ribs before the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Sunday night game. What the heck do we do with Jerry Jeudy?
I'm expecting him to play based on that report. And there's been optimism all throughout the week. It hasn't been like, yeah, he's definitely going to play. But even when he wasn't practicing, it was, well, he's day to day. And, it looks like he's going to play. So I'm treating him like a wide receiver 3. Him and Cortland Sutton, I'm viewing as the 1A and 1B in that offense. That's what I viewed them as coming into the season. And that's what they've mostly been used like when Jeudy was healthy. So I think they're going to pretty much split targets pretty evenly right around. I've got them, I think, both projected for like a 23% target share. And it makes them, low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3s.
Okay. Back to your questions here. And again, please hit like. We're live until about 12:55 p.m. Eastern time, about 5 minutes before kickoff here. Hit that like button and let's go. Dortch, Dobbs, or Burks?
I would still go with Dortch, but it's getting close with Burks, man. I'm excited about Burks. So I'll go Dortch.
Yeah.
Okay. James Conner, DJ Moore, or Curtis Samuel, PPR? And do you feel confident enough in Conner to start him over these guys?
No, because I like those wide receivers quite a bit. And obviously those guys are fully healthy. I would go with DJ Moore.
I would start James Conner over DJ Moore, but it's close-ish.
If DJ Moore doesn't have a good game this week,
I'm still gonna rank him high next week.
No one's going to listen to you. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but
that's fine. It's just, we've been through this before, it's certainly not the first time that DJ Moore's had a couple bad games. Start of the 2020 season, there was similar panic. Remember when Robbie Anderson was the obvious number 1 wide receiver for them?
Yeah.
And DJ Moore ended up catching him basically. So I don't know, man. Maybe Baker, maybe this offense is just such a disaster that like, maybe the guys who were playing before Baker Mayfield really aren't that bad. It's just this offense is a disaster. But I think Baker Mayfield is better than Sam Darnold. So I still think this offense will be okay.
Adam,
yeah, we treat him like he's some elite wide receiver sometimes, and he might be in the right circumstances. I don't know. But
3 straight seasons of 1,100 plus yards is pretty dang good.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah. But he's been wide receiver 26 per game in full PPR 2 straight years.
Sure, but we were expecting, and I'm still expecting, that Baker Mayfield will be an upgrade for him.
Yeah,
at quarterback. Maybe that's just a wrong assumption. Like maybe he's just a wide receiver 2. But I just really think DJ Moore is just like a top 12 wide receiver in the NFL. I really think he's that good, and just in terms of his talent level, I think he's in that conversation. So I'm not going to give up on him.
I don't disagree with that, Chris. It's just the situation is so dire.
Oh yeah, like it stinks.
How is Ben McAdoo an offensive coordinator in the NFL? I was thinking about it the other day. So I'm a Jets fan. Unfortunately, I'm like, this is the equivalent of Adam Gase still being in the NFL. If he were in the NFL, it's just, how is this happening in the year 2022 that Ben McAdoo is calling plays for an NFL team? I just don't know.
Yeah, they're a mess. It's and the line is a real problem right now as well. Okay, somebody said they traded A.J. Dillon for Christian Kirk. You guys like? There it is. He also has Aaron Jones. Do you like that trade, Dillon for Kirk?
I think it's fair-ish. In PPR, I think I would prefer to have Kirk, but I think it's a fair deal.
Yeah, it's giving up an RB2 to get a wide receiver 2.
Pick a running back, wide receiver, and a flex. All right, the running back is going to be Dobbins, Edmonds, or Pollard.
I will take Dobbins there, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're right. That's fine. That's how I feel. DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Darnell Mooney, and Shepard and Burks. Give me a wide receiver.
DJ Moore.
J. Moore.
All right, give me a flex.
I think I still have Mooney ranked the highest of all of these players. That may be stupid.
I will go with Devontae Smith.
AJ Dillon or CeeDee Lamb? PPR.
I will take CeeDee Lamb there.
I've got Dillon. Not helpful.
All right, I like Dillon a lot, but I'll take Lamb. James Conner, Pierce, or Shepard? PPR.
I have
Connor
easily.
And if he doesn't play, then you can go with Shepard. He's not a terrible option.
I'll take Connor, but I do have him and Pierce back to back in the rankings.
You know, Pierce reminds me of Josh Jacobs last week. And I said, like, if you can't start Josh Jacobs against the Cardinals, when can you start Josh Jacobs? And he got the workload you wanted, but he just wasn't really that good. And he had one catch. And that's kind of how I see Dameon Pierce. I like for him to prove it first.
I'm trying to avoid confirmation bias with Dameon Pierce because this was last week was exactly what my concern was, that even if he was the lead back, he wasn't going to be that good because he's not going to catch passes and that offense stinks. And I don't want to just say I was right.
No, we're not there yet.
Yeah. I mean, we're never there with me being right.
No, because I'm in the same boat as you. I didn't draft any Dameon Pierce. I thought when he started going in the early fifth round, I thought it was ludicrous.
Yeah.
But
I really didn't like. He stayed in like my 90 range for most of the draft period. I just there was never a point like I think I have him in one league that we drafted early, but yeah, it just people got way too excited about a guy in a bad offense.
Ooh, this is a superhero question: Batman or Thielen? I gotta go with Batman on that one.
Batman.
By the way, have you guys watched Harley Quinn on HBO?
No.
Oh my god.
Good.
Phenomenal.
Really?
So good. Oh,
Never heard of
so
it.
funny.
Is that a superhero thing?
It's a cartoon based in the Batman universe with Harley Quinn as the main character. It's phenomenal. It's so good.
Okay.
Chris, this won't surprise you, but obviously I'm just way behind on all of television, so.
Yeah, and I don't even know who Harley Quinn is. So half PPR, Pollard or Cooks?
You know who Harley Quinn is?
Yeah,
No.
I don't like. This obviously isn't a take, Adam, but this is just like living under a rock kind of thing. How do you not know who Harley Quinn is? Oh,
She was in Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad.
I'm not into that.
She was
genre.
Joker's girlfriend in the Batman animated series.
Not into the genre.
Like the only good thing about the DC universe at this point.
Who's Joker?
Nikola Jokic. He's the center for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah. Cooks. I actually know him. Cooks is the answer.
Yes, Cooks for sure over Pollard.
All right. We got a lot of Higgins questions. I think we're Higgins. We're Higgins
Top 12
fans.
wide receiver. There's no questions about
Yeah, we're
him.
Higgins fans here.
He's a freaking star.
And
Clyde,
last week,
go
I
ahead,
was gonna say, last week I did say that the Jets secondary has a chance to be good, and I think they still could turn out to be good. But Sauce Gardner kind of looked like a rookie last week. I know he got banged up, but he gave up a touchdown to Amari Cooper and just kind of had some mistakes in that game. So I think T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are obviously both amazing today.
All right, who do you got here? Clyde, Hall, or Stevenson?
Clyde.
Yeah, Clyde there.
Clyde Hall.
I don't
sounds
love
like
Clyde, but yeah.
Doesn't Clyde Hall sound like a great venue?
You sounds like a
Hall.
wrestler. Clyde
Yeah,
Hall.
not based on what I know about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Doesn't sound like a great venue.
Gabe Davis or Michael Thomas in non-PPR?
Michael Thomas.
Gabe Davis or DK Metcalf?
Gabe
Davis.
Do I start Drake London and Kyle Pitts this week, or do I start London with Moore or Judy and Shepard in the flex? Oh, so you're flexing Kyle? I'm confused. Is he flexing Kyle Pitts, or is he starting Pitts?
Yeah,
and
I think he's
wondering about his
flexing.
flex. Oh, okay. No, I don't think I'd flex Pitts.
Is it Elijah Moore or DJ Moore? I think if it's DJ Moore, I'm starting Pitts over him. If it's Elijah Moore, I'm starting Pitts.
If it's Elijah Moore, I think I'm going to start Judy. And then if he doesn't play, I'll go to Shepard.
Yeah, I'm starting Pitts over all of them.
Over Judy? All right.
Yep.
If it's DJ Moore, I would take him. Pitts, by the way, very cheap on DraftKings today, 4,800.
Yeah, he's in one of my FanDuel lineups.
56,000 on FanDuel as well. He's like the 8th most expensive tight end. It's ridiculous.
All right. Josh Jacobs or Tony Pollard?
Jacobs.
Yeah.
We got a lot of Pollard questions. Maybe it's because I don't have any Tony Pollard. I wish I did, but I can't imagine that I'm starting Tony Pollard this week. I don't want to start Tony Pollard. He scored last week. He got a 1-yard touchdown run. It was basically you earned this because you had the long catch to set it up. He's not going to score often. And their offense, I don't think it's going to have a big game against the Giants with Cooper Rush. So I don't think anybody here wants to start Tony Pollard, right? Just throw that out there.
Yeah, no, I'm not a super big fan.
I have him at RB34, which is around where he was drafted. So low end flex.
Okay. Who do you guys like here? James Robinson, Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, or Cam Akers?
I would start James Robinson.
Yep.
We have 361 likes. Let's get to 450 likes real quick. I think we can do it. We have 1,850 people here, so let's get another 100 likes. While we do that, I'm going to take a look at this YouTube poll. It was a great poll question by Thomas Schaefer, his best one yet. Best Sunday morning cartoon, Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo, DC or Marvel Comics, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Best Sunday morning cartoon, guys. Did you vote? I did.
I don't really remember watching. Like, my Looney Tunes watching was mostly like late at night on Cartoon Network, and my morning cartoons were more of the like Recess era. You remember that show?
No, I don't.
I'm like in the middle of you guys in age, like right, and I think you're both like 5 years away from me in each direction. So
no way. You're not 28, are you, Frank?
No, I'm turning 31 in like a month.
Okay.
I'm 38.
Okay, so it's 4 years each way.
Okay. I was like, no way.
One year off each direction. I'm so sorry. But that might be a blind spot, I
don't remember Recess.
You guys might have missed Recess.
I used to watch You Can't Do That on television. I remember watching that. The Slime Show on Nickelodeon. And Looney Tunes for me was afternoon. It was like 4 o'clock after school. That's when I was into. But I voted for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is in second place behind Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes, then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Scooby-Doo, you got to watch Scooby-Doo at night. Get the whole spooky factor in there. And DC Marvel Comics comes in last place here. We have 443 likes. We need to get to 450. I'll allow it. We'll get to 450. Thank you guys very much for hitting like. Josh Jacobs or Robert Woods?
Jacobs.
Travis Etienne, Devin Singletary, or Brandon Ayuk?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would go with Ayuk, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably.
I would go with Ayuk.
Let me see. Yeah, I think it's Ayuk.
I think
it's Ayuk for me.
We should consider the prospects for the Jaguars just being better with Herbert not and you can, if you're deciding between Etienne and Ayuk, you could wait until you see Herbert's status, but maybe it's just a better game plan for them. Or honestly, I don't know.
Would that benefit Etienne?
I don't know. I think, that's a great question. That was my next question to myself, basically. Would that benefit Etienne if they're, in it more? Maybe not. They might just have the ball more if Justin Herbert's not playing. I think I would just go with Ayuk. He's, Ayuk with it is very possible. Heck, it might even be probable that Ayuk leads the team in receiving now with Jimmy Garoppolo. Just how the season ended. If they're going to use Deebo Samuel as a running back, 6 to 8 times a game, last 9 games or so of the season, Ayuk outperformed him as a receiver. So far, I believe he's outperforming him as a receiver. So
yeah, he's getting all the downfield targets in this offense. Samuel is kind of back to pre-2021 usage in terms of his passing game. I think his average depth of target this season is something like 2 yards. So it's been a lot of short stuff for Samuel after he was used down the field more last year. So that's I don't think it's a hot take at all. I think it's just that, Ayuk's going to give you 700 rushing yards and honestly maybe double-digit rushing touchdowns.
Deebo, yeah.
Debo, yeah.
All right, here we go. Lamb or Waddle, PPR?
Waddle.
Yeah, I'm waddling. Dylan or Pierce, half PPR?
One of the best celebrations going.
Great. Dylan or Pierce?
I would take
Dillon.
Pierce, but what I'm learning today is I think I might just be low on AJ Dillon this week.
No, I think Chris and I are just high on AJ Dillon. That's the way I've been, just from conversations throughout the week with the guys. And let me see. I don't know if I have their rankings pulled up.
I don't even feel like I'm high on Dillon relative to where I've been on Dillon. I just think he's an RB2, and I'm not there with Dameon Pierce yet.
So the big question, I think, with Dillon is the matchup. All right, so Jamie has him 27th, Dave 25th, Heath has him 16th. So Heath likes Dillon too. And what to make of this Bucs run defense? Because I went back, good. It hasn't been so far. And it's usually 3 straight years it's been an elite run defense. But I looked at the Packers last year. They happened to face each of the top six teams in yards per carry allowed to running backs, the 6 best at yards per carry allowed to running backs. They faced all of them. And in those 6 games, A.J. Dillon averaged 3.3 yards per carry. And Aaron Jones actually only averaged, I think, 3.6 yards per carry in those games. So you could look at that and say Dillon's going to struggle against the Bucs. But the Bucs, they don't have Akeem Hicks. He's out for like a month. They don't have Ndamukong Suh, who's not on the team anymore. And they just haven't been that good against the run so far. It's been weird. So
that for me is less the concern, and it's more just I think Dillon's gotta he played 57% of the snaps in week 2. He played 51% in week 1. I think he's just like a huge part of that offense who's going to get a bunch of carries and a bunch of targets every week. He got 3 targets in week 1. I feel like
he had what, 3 targets in week 2? Because he had
week 2, yeah, 6 in week 1, but with 18 catches in a game where they didn't have to throw much. I just think he's got a really valuable role in what I think is still a pretty good offense.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Damian Harris or Hollywood Brown, non-PPR.
I think I would still go Hollywood.
Yeah, same.
Man, I cannot sing Billy Joel yet. I will try. Should I drop Lawrence for Tua? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Mostert or Josh Jacobs, RB2?
Oh, Jacobs.
Correct.
Jacobs is playing. We don't expect, I don't know, maybe he's still feeling sniffly and his conditioning's not great, but we're expecting him to just get his normal role, right?
Yeah. I have him ranked a little bit lower than usual. He would be like a middling RB2. I have him as more like a high-end flex just because, maybe he's not as effective, not as efficient, but I still think he gets his normal, 15 touches in that range.
I have also been sick, by the way, all weekend. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
I think I'm having a subpar show, to be quite honest with you. So hopefully Josh Jacobs can do better than me. Juju or Jerry Jeudy, full PPR?
I think his job's a little harder.
I don't even get a commercial break. He gets 4 per period, man. 4 per quarter.
Actually, yeah, and he doesn't have to talk much.
That's right. He doesn't do anything. Just runs. I could run. Juju or Judy, full PPR?
Judy. Actually,
that one's really close. I think I would go with Juju, but it's close.
Yeah, I have Juju ranked higher. Sorry for lying initially.
I love how people think I'm going to read their question just because they say something about me and they're 100% right. Adam deserves his own spin-off show. I don't know what that show would be about. I would say it'd be a show about nothing, but I think that's been taken. Ramondre Stevenson or Melvin Gordon, full PPR?
That is close.
I think I would go with Ramondre.
I think so too. Played a bunch of snaps last week. Just wish he got more work.
Okay, let's get to 1,000 likes. Yeah, I agree. I was setting the bar pretty low. We're at 489. Let's get to 1,000 likes. Everybody hit that stinking like button. We have enough people in here to make it happen. Pick 3. Michael Thomas, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman, Miles Sanders. I'm going to stop reading. Right? Jeez. Thomas, Higgins, Pittman?
Yeah.
That's it, but those are awesome players.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to leave Miles Sanders and Curtis Samuel on your bench, but
right.
I'm leaving Samuel on my bench in a lot of leagues, which doesn't feel great.
Yeah, I mean that's why those guys always they show up in so many starter sit questions. They weren't drafted as starters, and how many Garrett Wilson questions have we had this whole week? Oh, here's another one. Oh, I missed it. Too quick. Chats are updating too quickly. See if I can find it. Well, this wasn't one, but Gabe Davis or Garrett Wilson?
Still
Garrett Wilson.
Brady or Fields?
Brady.
Yeah, but I really don't feel good about it. I think I have him as like my QB 15 or 16 this week.
Yeah, he's 17 for me, but Fields is 18.
He sucks. McLaurin, he should. I hope he has to pay. I hope he has to pay for the tablets. He broke 2 tablets last week. That's immature.
You're
That's immature.
45 years old.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, he cursed. So I'm like, you're 45 years old. Grow up.
I love Tom Brady. I'm a big fan, but he doesn't suck. I was joking, but he can't be breaking. He can't be breaking 2 tablets. 1 I can accept. 2 is over the line. McLaurin, Connor, London. We need to sit one of these guys in PPR.
I would sit McLaurin.
I think I would too.
Okay. How about DJ Moore or Dameon Pierce?
DJ Moore, especially in full PPR.
DJ Moore.
Mooney or Dawson? And what is, that's a good question. What's Najee's rest of season outlook?
Yeah. It might be a sell low situation. It might be a situation where it's just he is stuck in a bad offense. He's dealing with that foot injury. Like, I think if he's healthy, he's going to get enough work that you're just going to start him every week. And he's probably going to end up being close to a top 12 running back. But yeah, the injury risk is the biggest thing for me. So I don't know, because now I feel like it's gone, like Najee Harris panic has gone mainstream. Whereas like 2 weeks ago, I think was the time to try to sell Najee Harris when he had a decent week 1, but the concerns were still there. Still looked like a bad offense. Now I think, he was on an island game. He was on prime time. He didn't perform all that well. I think now it's like everyone knows that you should be worried about him. So it's probably better to hold on to him until he has a good game. And then I would go Mooney over Dawson.
Yeah, I would go Mooney as well. I think Najee's more of like a high-end RB2 compared to the, top 5 or 6 running back that he was drafted as coming into the season.
Right.
I don't know if I would sell. I thought he looked pretty good, honestly, early in that game on Thursday. I don't know why they went away from him. I feel like he should have got more work in the second half. I don't like that the target share has been down, but it just seems like the wrong time to sell. I guess theoretically his value could get lower, but I would hold for now.
I think there's still upside, not with Mitchell Trubisky. I think he's just bad. I think it was like worthwhile to like, hey, maybe he got better after sitting for a year, but like we've seen him and he's still Mitchell Trubisky. He's still bad. So I think the upside is if Kenny Pickett comes out and is really good, which I don't necessarily expect, but it's possible. So, I still think there's a path to him being a top 10 running back.
You guys think I should start J.K. Dobbins or James Robinson?
James Robinson. And
right.
I do also want to like,
I have.
It's always so funny to be on Twitter during games and like the backup running back comes in and has 2 good runs and it's like, he's better than the starter. It doesn't matter who the starter is. If Chuba Hubbard comes in and has like a 12-yard carry today, people are going to, I swear there's somebody who's going to be like, should Chuba Hubbard be getting more work? He's showing juice. It's always so funny to watch the reactions to backup running backs.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible that Jaylen Warren is faster than Najee Harris, but it doesn't mean he can carry the workload like Najee Harris does. And that workload's not going anywhere. So I'm not sure you should sell him. Just kind of, you really can't expect him to win you your league, unfortunately. Dortch or Lazard?
I will take Lazard.
Honestly, I might have Dortch ranked higher.
I'm going Lazard.
Listen,
they are not going to throw
2 spots higher.
They're going to throw more this week. They're going to have to. They're not going to just steamroll the Bucs like they did the Bears. And you've got no Watkins. Christian Watson is probably going to be out for this game as well, if not definitely out. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I'm going Lazard. I think obviously the injury was the only thing that keeps me from loving Lazard this week. But I think that out of necessity, they're going to have to throw to him. And he played by far the most, and he ran the most routes last week. I still think he's clearly the wide receiver 1. I'm hoping for a big game. I'm hoping for like 60 yards and a touchdown. Zeke or Pierce?
I do have Zeke ranked higher.
Pick 2, Zeke, Shepard, Juju, Henderson.
I would go with Zeke and in PPR.
Zeke and Juju.
Juju, yeah.
And pick 1, Knox, Everett, or Hurst. Ooh, I don't like those options.
Yeah, I would go with Gerald Everett, but I don't love him this week. I have a league where I'm starting Irv Smith over Gerald Everett.
All right, who are we sitting here? Dobbins, Pierce, and you are definitely not sitting Javonte Williams. So
You're sitting Dobbins.
Yeah, sit Dobbins. Okay. Oh, and two of my questions. They are very welcome, M. Duff. What is that? When I do this, it means I'm staring at the avatar. I want to see what that is. I have no idea.
It was like a blue, like alien thing.
That'll get it.
You said you were staring at the avatar.
Oh. The movie that's coming out now, is that just re-releasing the original movie?
They are re-releasing the original in advance of the new movie.
Oh, I didn't know there was a new one coming. Okay.
Chris, do you think that I have seen Avatar?
No way.
I'm going to say no.
You are correct.
Yeah,
I have not seen it.
Frank, have you seen any movie with a runtime longer than 2 hours? I feel like all the long movies that are great, you've never seen.
Are there any Adam Sandler movies that are over 2 hours long?
I feel like Click is over 2 hours.
Yeah, but the thing is with Click, you can just fast forward it. All right. Yes, I would guess
Nope,
that
107 minutes.
Uncut Gems is over 2 hours.
Yeah, but that's not like an Adam Sandler movie. That's a movie that Adam Sandler's in. You know,
I have seen it, and it is very good.
I love that movie. People didn't really like it. I loved Uncut Gems. I love when you're like, "Ooh, Scooby-Doo." Kevin Garnett. All right. Anyway, welcome to the show. If you're just joining us, it's
not really a thing
12:30.
that happens in that movie.
No.
Does he do the Adam Sandler voice?
He does not. He actually, there is a moment toward the end of that movie where he's talking to this girl, and he's talking in that, you know how whenever he gets really serious or romantic in a movie, he just gets, "I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you." It gets kind of like that. He does that Adam Sandler thing, like not the goofy thing, but the serious Adam Sandler thing. He does that. I was like, oh,
Funny People. That's the super unnecessarily long Adam Sandler.
Oh, I don't like that movie.
Yeah, that movie. The first like 70 minutes are good, and then the last 2 hours are terrible. Yeah.
He's kind of my hero, by the way. Have I watched Dahmer on Netflix? No, I have not. My wife is really looking forward to watching it, but 10 episodes? No, thank you. There's the Mike Williams or Marquise Brown. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Well, if Chase Daniel's a quarterback, then Marquise Brown. Otherwise, say goodbye to Hollywood Brown and go with Mike Williams. All right, let's reset here. It's 12:30, and we got another 20 or 25 minutes left on the show. I want to thank you for being here on this Sunday. If you're just joining us, vote in the poll. Vote for Ninja Turtles. 575 likes. That is not enough. We want to get to 1,000 likes by the end of the show. I want to get to 650 likes before I read another question. We're going to update you on some news. Real quick, guys. I know some people have been here for a while. Honestly, I don't have any metrics. I don't know how long y'all tune in for, but if you've been here, I'm sorry for repeating it. Chris, your take on the Chargers, on Keenan Allen. Mike, on the Chargers in general. Go ahead.
If you can avoid starting Justin Herbert, I think you probably want to. You know, if you've got Tua Tagovailoa, if you've got Carson Wentz, you're probably starting those guys over him. Just in the off chance he doesn't play. If Justin Herbert plays, I think he'll be better than those guys. I would have him ranked ahead. Keenan Allen is a risk because he's dealing with the injury. It does sound like he's going to play, but not 100% sure. And with the uncertainty about Justin Herbert, again, if you have a better option in the early games, it's fine to start them. It's also fine to wait if you have someone later. I'm still viewing Keenan Allen and Mike Williams as top 24 wide receivers for this week. Just in a blanket statement, I'm still probably keeping them in my starting lineup if they're active.
And I am doing something that's disgusting and starting Marquez Valdes-Scantling over Keenan Allen in 2 leagues. Because I have questions about Keenan Allen actually playing, and I don't really have backup options. So it sucks, but that's where I'm at. Like, he may not play, Herbert may not play, and it's just too much for me. It's a really tough call, and there's just not enough information right now. James Conner is another tough call, Frank. What do you got?
Yeah, I have him as a low-end RB2. He's not ranked where he normally would be if he was completely healthy. That would be like a low-end RB1, high-end RB2. So I think he'll see close to a normal allotment of touches, probably in that 15-ish range, but have questions about how effective he is going to be. Low-end RB2. I think if you have Conner, you're most likely starting him.
Okay, and how about, what am I missing? Kamara's playing. We like him. We've talked a lot about Dobbins. We're trying to avoid J.K. Dobbins. Jerry Jeudy. Frank, thoughts on Jerry Jeudy Sunday night?
Yeah, he's banged up right now. He's more of a wide receiver 3 for me. So I've downgraded him. You know, if he was normally healthy, he would be a top 24 wide receiver. So I've downgraded him a little bit. I guess there's a chance that you have a better wide receiver to play over him. But I do have some concerns there. More of a wide receiver 3 this week for Jerry Jeudy.
Chris, you know who's kind of an interesting one that we haven't talked about is Julio Jones. He's 77% rostered, I believe. He's a game time decision. You know, if he were fully healthy, not missing any practice, and he were the best wide receiver available for the Bucs, I'd actually consider him a must start this week.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that situation?
Yeah, no, if there were no questions about him, he'd probably be a top 24 wide receiver for me. He looked really good in the first game. He looked fast, but he's already banged up, and I'm not expecting him to play full snaps, even if he does play. They made a point of getting him involved early in the running game. They got him a couple carries. They got him, heavily involved in the passing game. With the injury, with the uncertainty, I think it's probably best to just avoid it. I'm looking at Russell Gage as a wide receiver 3. Rashad Perryman, even like Cole Beasley, I think they're interesting DFS plays. I could see a world where Cole Beasley has like 9 targets this week and, gets 55 yards on them. I'm not saying he's going to be good, but like I could see that happening. I think this is enough of a mess that you probably just want to avoid it.
All right. With that said, we'll get back to your questions here. Try to answer as many as we can in the next 20 minutes or so. And again, I want to thank everyone for spending time on your Sunday morning to hang out with us. And if we're getting pretty close to 650 likes, we can do better than this. We have 623 and we want to get to 1,000 before the end of the show.
Wait, Adam, wouldn't you say that this is Sunday afternoon?
Well, I think anybody would say it's a Sunday afternoon on the East Coast.
Yeah, no, it is Sunday afternoon. I'm sorry.
Like objectively, it is afternoon. Now it is afternoon.
That's really just
11:30 is before noon.
But it's not the morning.
Because noon is noon.
Right, but
noon is a thing.
But 11:30 is not the morning.
Something that happens before noon.
For most adults, 11:30 is not the morning.
Afternoon.
It's the afternoon. All right, Dortch or Landry?
I'll take
not
Dortch.
The morning.
It doesn't have to be morning. That's fine. It's second breakfast in the parlance of the hobbits.
Okay. Rank the following players: Dobbins, Jacobs, Lazard, Landry, Dortch. Interesting. Another Dortch and Landry thing.
Jacobs.
I think I would go Jacobs, Dobbins, Lazard, Dortch, Landry.
I would just swap Lazard and Dobbins in PPR.
Okay. Would you drop Evan Ingram for Dawson Knox?
Sure.
I guess they're going to be ranked in the same range. I think most weeks, high end tight end 2, something like that, but it's fine.
Drake London or Cortland Sutton, PPR?
I will take Sutton.
I do have Sutton ranked higher.
Also, RML is starting Dotson and Samuel. I guess that's Curtis Samuel. Is that a bad idea?
I assume it's not the same league where you're picking London or Sutton.
I hope
would start both of them over definitely over Dotson. I don't love it because I don't think Dotson's a starting caliber player yet. He's gotten the touchdown so far, and that's kind of bailed you out from what otherwise hasn't been great production, but he's playing pretty much every snap. He's running like 80% routes for Washington. He's going to have a chance every week. I'm not saying that makes him a starting caliber player every week, but I think he's in the discussion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think Samuel has kind of entrenched himself as a near must-start player.
Mm-hmm.
Dotson is not there yet. The Commanders have 6 players between a 12 and 23% target share, so they are spreading the ball around quite a bit.
Did you see? And they're throwing way more than is sustainable. I think they're averaging like 47 passes or something per game. They've dropped back to pass like 96 times. Did you see Samuel's touchdown last week? He was lined up as a running back. Like that's a real thing. They're using him. It was on a wheel route out of the backfield. He's getting some of he's East Coast Debo.
And he's blowing people away in targets on that team. He's the only one who stood out. And the last thing I'll say about that is the Eagles are very good at taking away deep stuff. That's what they do defensively. They're one of the teams that I really don't like, wide receivers that depend on big plays. I'm nervous about McLaurin in this game. Dawson for sure. Samuel seems like he's set up in this matchup to once again be the best option in fantasy. David asked about Zamir White. You could pick him up. Josh Jacobs is going to play, so Zamir White is not worth considering. All right, we have no Taysom Hill this week. Would you start Jawan Johnson or Gerald Everett?
Gerald Everett.
Yeah, I would still take Everett.
Would you go with Dotson or Lazard? I would go Lazard.
Same.
Yeah, I think I would go Lazard.
Burrow or Murrow?
Murray.
I would go with Murrow.
All right.
Man, Burrow, they've faced, I believe, the fewest 4-man rushes of any team in the league.
Wow, really?
And they've faced the most cover 2 coverage so far.
The fewest 4-man rushes. Yeah, that makes
so it's pretty clear what I don't want to say the blueprint for slowing Cincinnati down because I think they'll figure it out. But if you can get pressure with 4 and drop 8 or 7 in coverage every time, Joe Burrow's going to hang on to the ball, try to hit big plays, and those big plays haven't been there with the 2 safeties.
They're getting the fewest 4-man rushes.
Yes, they're facing the fewest 4-man rushes.
Right, so they're not getting. So people are getting pressure with.
The people are getting pressure because Joe Burrow holds the ball. It's their offensive line's bad, but his play style. He's very Russell Wilson-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's much taller, but very similar play style. He's always going to try to make things happen deep, and he's going to take a lot of sacks because of that.
All right, let's answer this question here. Pick 2 in PPR. Gibson, Dillon, Julio, and Jacobs.
I will go with the first 2.
Yep, Gibson and Dillon.
All right. How about Cousins or Carr and Akers or Darth Vader? How about Dortch?
Cousins, start of the week, and I will go with Cam Akers.
I do have Carr ranked ahead of Cousins. And I would go with Dortch over Akers.
One more player, by the way, that we haven't talked about is Dalton Schultz. Just don't
avoid
start
him. Yeah. And don't try to pivot to Jake Ferguson or I don't think you can trust anybody else in that game.
Right.
I think the Giants tight ends have 4 targets between them through 2 games. So there's no options there.
What's crazy though, I think they've scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Tight ends.
Oh, because such a good quarterback. PPR, Hall, Carter, or Patterson?
Patterson.
Yeah, I'll take Patterson there. I rank Carter ahead of Hall this week, but I feel like they're going to get Breece Hall more involved. It was interesting to see that they were playing Ty Johnson on third downs last week.
Do you know how excited I am to go to that game tomorrow? I have been thinking about it all week. I cannot freaking wait. I haven't gotten a single DM, by the way, from anybody who's going. So I'm going to ask again tomorrow. I hope to meet up with some people tomorrow.
Can I tell you a secret about me?
Yeah.
You would have to give me tickets to go to a football game, an NFL football game at this point.
Games.
I
so much.
The experience of watching on TV is so much better than being at a game. And if you gave me nosebleed seats for a game that just a Giants Cowboys game, I don't think I would go.
That's fair. What if I gave you, I'm not.
Yeah,
if
they were good seats.
Yeah,
I think I would. Yeah,
go,
but if they were 500 level at MetLife or whatever they call the upper level, I just don't love being at a football game that much these days.
Oh,
I agree. I agree that watching it on TV is probably the better watching experience, but the whole tailgate and everything that comes with that.
If I was in Miami right now and I had tickets to the Bills-Dolphins game, that would be fun.
That'd be good, right? You'd go.
Well, I would go to that.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't think I would pay for it.
Well, Giants, Cowboys, Bills, Dolphins, it's
true.
the same. 2-2-0. Let's go, man. All right. Burrow or Stafford?
Also, getting to MetLife is just...
I'm leaving. I am leaving here. I'm going to get there about 4 hours early. Honest to God, I might take a nap in the parking lot.
I took $100 Uber back to the city from when I saw Paul McCartney there. It was not a good time.
All right, Burrow or Stafford?
I have Stafford 1 spot higher.
I have Burrow 1 spot higher. We are not being helpful today.
Burks or Shepard?
I would go with Burks. You know what? Just give me the better player with the ascending role.
Yeah, I think Shepard is safer. Burks has more upside, but I want to see him play more. That's
Yeah, like 6 catches for 20 yards. Who cares?
Diggs, Pittman, Eckler are starting. I need one of Connor, Clyde, or Sanders as RB2.
Connor.
Oh man, unpopular take, but I'm nervous about Connor. I really am, and I think I'd go Sanders.
I have Connor ranked the lowest of this group, and
Oh wow,
that comes from somebody who was very excited about Connor this season. So.
Go before you do anything else, though. Trade Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm sorry, Frank, that these long questions cover all of your face. There's really nothing I can do about that. Like, what if I did? No, I can't.
Well, it's the StreamYard access you can like grab if you click on my face and like.
Oh yeah, you could just
there you go.
block me.
Yeah, take that, Chris.
Well, since you guys are answering the questions, maybe they should block me. Gabe Davis, Bateman, Garrett Wilson, Brandon Cooks, and Cortland Sutton. Bench 2 or start 3.
That is a good group of wide receivers. I will take Sutton. Oh, Cooks and
I'm sitting Davis and Bateman.
I am gonna go Gabe Davis, Cooks, and Sutton. So I'm sitting Wilson and Bateman, I guess. But geez, that is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Jacobs, Penny, Pollard, Mostert.
Needs 2.
Jacobs.
Man. Jacobs is the easy one.
Yeah, I think all of those running backs are in like the 34 to 40 range for me.
I have Pollard ranked highest.
That was my instinct.
Yeah.
Just hope he catches 3 or 4 passes, and that might be enough.
Yeah, I'll take Pollard as well.
How about Sutton, Mike Williams, and Cooks? We need a bench 1. Oh, I'm going to bench Mike Williams.
I have Sutton ranked lowest, but I know you guys are going to disagree with that.
I would play it safe and bench
It's
Williams.
about Herbert. I would start Williams over Sutton probably. Yeah, I guess I would if Herbert were playing, if I knew he were playing. But you can make that decision. You could just start Cooks and then let it be a Herbert decision, I suppose. Montgomery or Jeff Wilson?
Montgomery.
Where?
That's another one where week 1 the backup had like one good drive and everyone was like, David Montgomery should be benched. And it's like, no, he's still decent.
Okay. Sorry guys, got a little distracted there. My bad.
Okay.
Trying to set a lineup, got confused. Hollywood Brown, Garrett Wilson, or Damian Pierce, half PPR.
I would go with Hollywood Brown.
I would say goodbye to Hollywood and go with Garrett Wilson.
Here's DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Hollywood Brown, and Devontae Smith. I don't know how many we need there, so how about we rank them?
AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Hollywood Brown, Devontae Smith is the order.
Correct.
There was one that I was about to read. It said, please answer. There you go. Please answer James Robinson or Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders.
Correct.
Chase Edmonds, Penny, or Henderson? Henderson.
I will take Henderson. I know we brought up Oreos earlier in this live stream, Adam. Are you a got to dip in milk kind of guy, or how do you feel about that?
I wouldn't say got to, but certainly enhances it. If I had 10 Oreos, I'd probably dip 5.
Okay.
And eat the other. And I think there's just been.
Do you drink the milk?
Oh yeah.
I don't know because I haven't done it in so long. But
that's my thing is I just don't like milk at all. Like the idea of drinking a glass of milk as an adult is just like I can't even consider the possibility of it.
I did it last night with ice cream.
It's so gross. It's like God bless you if you like a glass of milk, but it's disgusting.
Okay.
Milk and ice cream? It kind of seems like overkill. Like, why wouldn't you just?
Well, what else is I going to drink?
Make a milkshake.
Water.
Water and ice cream doesn't really work.
Doesn't.
I mean, it's not like a wine pairing with your meal. Like you're doing it just to like stay hydrated.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all day. All right. Pick 2 wide receivers and a flex in PPR. We got Judy, Dawson, and Lazard. Judy for sure.
Judy, Lazard, and then James Robinson.
Frank, I think you and I would have had very similar rankings this week.
Nice.
Yeah. 5. Darrell Henderson is his name. Oh, I like all that food at the end there. Darrell Henderson, Chris Olave, Elijah Moore, Dotson, and Dortch. We need 2.
Henderson and Moore.
Darrell Henderson and Moore. This
Okay.
kind of works out, Adam, because like even though your face is getting cut off, people get to see your beautiful hair. Still, it just like sticks out from the question. So
Yeah, here, I'll read it like this. Henderson.
Your hair is blending too much in with the chair.
Yeah.
You need the white background.
Yeah, that's my bad. Okay.
Dylan.
Henderson, Akers, or Dylan?
Dylan.
Oh, we're sitting one.
Oh, we're sitting one.
Sit Akers.
I'm sitting Akers, but yeah, that just feels like
Right.
feels like
Actually,
I want to avoid.
I said it with so much certainty that I'm not sure Akers is not the number 1 running back. He had more carries than Henderson last week.
Yeah, Henderson got the only green zone touch inside the 10-yard line. He got the passing down, so it seems like a committee.
I have Akers ranked 1 spot higher than Henderson, but I'm just kind of hedging my bet. They're flex running backs, and but I would take Akers.
Okay, I have a sneeze coming. I think I can get another question out. Marquise Brown. Oh, it went away. I hate that. Marquise Brown or Bateman? Come back, sneeze.
Few things in the world worse than when the sneeze goes away.
Come on. Marquise Brown or Bateman? What do we got?
I'm going with Brown.
Yes, but it is close. I'll take Brown.
I mean, it's the Spider-Man meme.
DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, or Shepard?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
Okay, how about Pollard, Lockett, Carter, Keenan Allen?
Allen, if he's active.
Yeah.
If he's not,
I guess you can wait on that because you have Lockett and Pollard as late options. So I would stick Keenan Allen in there. If he's out or if Herbert's out, I would go with Lockett.
I would go with Lockett, yeah. Lockett, I think he's got like a 27 or 28% target share with Geno Smith so far in his career. It's kind of wild because we just did the thing where we penciled DK Metcalf in as the better wide receiver there, and it might not have been the case.
Yeah, not yet. Oh, Oreo Money Man. Did someone say Oreos? James Conner, Damian Harris, or Chase Edmonds?
James Conner.
Yep.
Lazard, Penny, or Chase Edmonds? It's going to be tough to get us to say Edmonds today.
Yeah, Lazard.
Yeah.
Lazard. Or put Penny.
The usage there was frustrating last week.
It's stupid. Not stupid. Just, frustrating is a better word for it. Do I start Landry, Woods, or Devin Duvernay?
I would still go with Woods.
I would go Landry.
That's fine.
Okay, how about where are you stream? There we go. Hollywood Brown. Jeez. The Hollywood Brown show. Garrett Wilson or Damian Pierce? I think we must have read this before.
I have Wilson right now.
Yeah, we definitely did.
I would go Hollywood.
Yeah, me too. Sorry about that. Laura and Jim, very nice couple that I met on YouTube. Start 2 in a PPR league. Ayuk, Lazard, Corey Davis, Devontae Smith, Greg Dortch.
I think it's Ayuk and Devontae Smith for me.
Devontae Smith. I think Ayuk and Lazard is pretty close, but I would go with Ayuk.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I was conflicted too. Just go with Ayuk. But Laura and Jim, you can be part of my spinoff, by the way. Kamara or Kirk?
Kamara.
Correct.
Bedhead Adam or Lord of the Rings Chris? Is that what that means?
That is Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I don't know what it
I'm going with Adam.
But
You're probably not.
like Lord of the Rings.
Okay. We need 2. Christian Kirk, Cortland Sutton, DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk. Yowzers. I'm sitting DJ Moore.
I'm sitting Sutton.
Yeah, I would go with Sutton and Kirk.
Okay, Peyton says that Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey are top 2 actors. Start Trevor Lawrence or go pick up Mac Jones, Mariota, or Gino Flacco? What? Would you like any of these guys better than Trevor Lawrence?
No. No, I have Trevor Lawrence ranked the highest of that group.
I think I have Mariota, 2 spots higher. So I would take him.
What if Matt Ryan's just bad now?
He's my FanDuel quarterback.
Definitely
that was
possible.
Really gross yesterday.
We just need him to be okay enough for Michael Pittman to be awesome. So
yeah.
J.K. Dobbins or Chris Olave at flex?
I would go with Dobbins.
I'll take Dobbins there, but man, the Chris Olave air yards last week, just wild stuff.
Yeah,
And
third most in the PFF era.
Pierce?
So third most since the air yard stat was tracked.
Start Pierce over Dobbins.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Who has better upside, McLaurin or Burks? McLaurin.
I'll still take McLaurin, but
yeah,
it would not surprise me if, Treylon Burks turns into a must-start wide receiver at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, McLaurin has more upside. Getting an update here on Julio Jones. I don't want Andrew to scream here. Sanders, Dillon, or Jeff Wilson?
That is a good question.
Dillon.
They're all ranked closely, but I would take Sanders.
Dre Glazer says that Julio Jones is dealing with a partially torn PCL in his knee. It is not an injury that requires surgery, and he is a true game time decision.
Jeez.
Great. Eno or Gage? Would you trade Eno for Gage? Sure.
No. I would rather have Eno Benjamin. There's more long-term upside there.
Yeah. Sorry, I dismissed it. Let's see. I've been here all show, and I've liked the video. Thank you, Trey. PPR, Bateman, Samuel, Hollywood Brown, a wide receiver, and a flex. We need two of them.
I assume that is Curtis Samuel. If it's Debo, you're definitely starting him. But if it's Curtis, I would take Bateman and Hollywood Brown.
Yes.
Come on now. 725 likes. We can do better than that. Okay, can we get to 1,000? We have like 3 minutes left. Everybody just hit like. If you're here, hit like. No big deal. Right? All right. Zeke, Dillon, Hollywood. Yeah, that's right. Zeke, Dillon, Hollywood Brown, and Drake London. Who are we sitting here?
I think I'm sitting.
I am sitting Dillon.
That might be a sit Drake or sit London for me. Yeah, it is.
That's a really tough one. Would you start a Jets running back, Bateman, Elijah Moore, or Curtis Samuel? Non-PPR.
Bateman.
Yeah, Bateman. Jimmy G or Jameis Winston as a rest of season backup?
I'll take Jimmy.
Jameis has more upside.
Okay, Rodgers or Garoppolo?
Rodgers.
I'll still take Rodgers this week.
Antonio Gibson or James Robinson?
Antonio Gibson.
Correct.
AJ Dillon or Jeff Wilson?
AJ Dillon.
I will take Jeff Wilson this week.
Should Darn?
You have to read it as it's written.
Hello, good morning. I have Herbert, but I picked up Carr. Should I make the switch?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you should, Homer Simpson. I love it. This is not a political thing. Oh, wait. Let me click on it. It said Dem likes are free, y'all.
Just hit the like button, guys. That's what it means.
Yeah. Gosh, there we go. Do I trade Pittman or Sutton for Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yeah. Either one.
Yeah, I'd trade Sutton, I guess.
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 7-6 wide receiver for me. And I think that just might be rest of season.
No way.
It's really tough. So
no way.
Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, and Jamar Chase are definitely above.
Yeah. You're taking him over
Debo, Tyreek Hill. I think those are the only two guys in the discussion. I would rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown than T. Higgins. I would rather have him than A.J. Brown. I'd rather have him than Jalen Waddle.
I think Michael Pittman's in the discussion.
I'd rather have him than Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman had 120 yards or something like that, and not maybe over 100 yards in one game.
I wonder how many times over the last 8 games going back to last season, Michael Pittman has outscored Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It's different.
It might be once.
I'd say he's in the discussion. There's no way Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 7 wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't know. He might be.
He might be. You're right.
I mean, what's the point? What do we have to be? I guess Jameson Williams might just be incredible. But, Amon-Ra St. Brown is, second to Cooper Kupp, basically, over the last 8 games that he's played.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, Tyreek Hill would definitely be ahead of him for me.
Maybe in non-PPR.
All right, let's see what else we have here.
Yeah, you get a point for every catch.
All right, a couple more questions to end the show. If we don't answer your question, it's not because I'm ignoring anything. It's because we have a million coming in. Bateman or DJ Moore?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
Pick 2 in PPR. Gabe Davis, Keenan Allen, Drake London, Curtis Samuel, Cordero Patterson.
Ooh, I will take Gabe and London.
Allen, if he plays, and you don't have to, you can wait for that one because Patterson is also at 4 and London as well. So I would just, yeah.
Mariota, Winston, or Goff?
I'll take Goff this week.
I would go Winston.
Dylan or James Robinson?
Dylan.
Robinson.
Thomas, Brandon Cooks, Curtis Samuel, pick 2. Sitting Samuel.
Yeah, you're sitting Samuel.
Last question here. Okay, let's get a good one. All right, this one's good enough. Shepard, Dotson, Elijah Moore, or Traylon Burks. Give me 2. It's a tough one.
Moore, and I think it's Traylon Burks for me.
Yeah, that's fine. Moore and Burks.
All right, and for me, guys, pizza or chicken roll?
What's a chicken roll?
It's a kind of calzone. It's just like a roll with chicken cutlet in it.
And pizza.
Chris, you haven't. How long have you been in New York? You haven't had a chicken roll yet? Come on, dude.
Yeah, what, are you kidding me?
Thing?
It's really good.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's. I'm not. I just don't know what it is. But like, just get pizza.
It's basically like a
Well,
chicken.
I have both, and they're in the fridge. They're leftovers from yesterday.
Then have pizza. I feel like the pizza would reheat better. It's got more moisture.
That's probably true. All right, I'll get pizza. Thanks, everybody. Oh, best adult dating site? You're blocked. I hate having to do that. You're a loser. All right, see you guys. We're out of here. Good luck. Let's go get a win. Oh, man, it's 1:00. We got to go. See ya.